I think the best support I received were from people that knew me the best. I think, I think whenever you find out that someone's lost a loved one or a friend to suicide, it's like, what do you do? What can you say? And I think the best support I received were from friends and family that knew me the best, that knew how to support me. A good example of that is I had a friend, Brent, who lived in Phoenix, which was about 800 miles away from the Salt Lake City area where I was living. And he just about 2 months after my late wife's death, he invited me down to spend some time with him in Phoenix. And if you've ever been to Phoenix in January, that's like the perfect time to go to Phoenix. It's 70 degrees and it's warm and it's nice. And anyway, I spent 3 days down there with him. And I always tell Brent that, that trip down there really saved me. I tell it to him again and again because I think he just kind of sensed and knew me that I just needed to kind of get away from things where I was at and just needed some time where I could, just go to a different city and just kind of spend some time not worrying about anything. And that was honestly the best support. That was seriously the best support I received. It was just time away, just spending time, just, doing guy things, just going to movies and, running around and just having fun, going for hikes in the desert and stuff like that. It was just fun. And that's really kind of taught me that, that in order to give support to people is that the best support you can give is to really get to know those people and what is it that they need, because everybody's different. There's not one thing, because a trip to see a friend worked for me, but that may not work for somebody else. And so as you try to support people, get to know them, or if you don't know them that well, talk to their friends, talk to their family, try to learn about them and learn about what it is that you can really do. And I think the other thing to do is just kind of open your eyes. If you go over to their house and whatever, the lawn needs mowing or the house is a mess. I mean, I think there's things that we can see, and sometimes we might feel uncomfortable just jumping in or asking people what it is that we can do. But it's knowing and loving these people and stepping up and just doing things. I guess as far as support I give others, I do often talk to widowers who have lost a spouse to suicide as well. And though oftentimes, they're in different cities or countries and I can't be there for them, I think it just helps them to know that, that there are other people out there that have lost a spouse to suicide and that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. In the sense that, you can work through your grief and you can be happy again. And maybe it's not easy, but just knowing that other people that are out there that have experienced something similar is very helpful. I know in my experience, I didn't know anybody that had, at least, at that point, that had lost a spouse to a suicide. And a lot of times I just felt alone. And I think maybe that's why the trip to Phoenix helped. It wasn't that Brent could relate to my experience, but it just to feel I had a friend and I had somebody there who was willing just to support me and listen to me and just spend time with me was the best thing that ever happened to me. I think the best thing you can do is, to help people, you need to know people. If a stranger, like my kids hear it all the time, like, hey, this kid, killed himself. And I ask the kids, when we get that, that dreaded email that comes in from the school district, it's like, my first question is did you know them? And most of the time it's no, I didn't know that person, or I didn't know him well. And, but at the same time, it's like, that's, it's hard to help people that you don't know, but if you know them, you can really reach out and support them and look for things.